Today on the Toy Temple, I determine which one's better, the Marvel Legends version or the Marvel Select. Well, the Select, because it's still available. Hey there, Glenn with the Toy Temple, and today I get to look... Wait, Marvel Select? I don't usually review those. Well, let me tell you why. Back a long time ago, I saw the Marvel Legends Spider-Man from the PS4 game a long time ago in a GameStop, once. And I passed on it because, well, I just didn't want it. It didn't look like it came with anything. And you know what? I feel justified in thinking that. It didn't have very many accessories. Then, this year, Marvel Select from Diamond Select puts out this Spider-Man. And look at all those accessories. A cell phone. Oh, we'll get to that. Oh, but yeah, that's a big chunk. And speaking of big, look at the size of this box. Marvel Select always comes in these giant boxes. And when it's a tinier figure, like a Spider-Man, it just looks silly. They gotta shrink it down, you know? It's too big. On the back, it says Spider-Man, the advanced suit. When teenage Peter Parker was bitten by, you know that story, it was the Amazing Spider-Man. Now he swings through the city of New York. Look, I'm not going to give you the origin story of Spider-Man. Sheesh. How many times do we have to watch that? On the side, it gives you the big PS4 Spider-Man logo. Well, without any further ado, let's crack it open. Get this thing in our hands, and I hope you'll join me. And here is Marvel Select PS4 Spider-Man out of the box, and he has some articulation issues. We'll get to those in a sec, but first, let's talk about the actual scale. I'm going to do the size comparison first this time around, just to give you an idea of just how big this Spider-Man actually is. So, let's take a little step back here, center him for the frame, make him stand up straight. Come on, it's picture day. You gotta be on your best behavior and work on that posture, sir. So, let's get regular old pseudo Pizza Spidey out. Yeah, that's a little small. Now, what about Miles? Well, I had Miles in kind of a dynamic pose on my shelf, but you know, I think he'll forgive me. By the way, is anyone excited for that PS4 Miles, or actually it's PS5 Miles game coming out? Wow, that is it's like a little kid, like a 10-year-old compared to, I don't know, Shaquille O'Neal. That's a little weird. But yeah, that's the difference between a 7-inch scale and the Marvel Legends 6-inch scale. So we'll get these guys out of here. Goodbye. Now, with that said, here's the other Marvel Select I own, which is Colossus. And yeah, Colossus is really big. It's taking a step back further some more. Yeah, that's the kind of scale we're talking about. That's why scale on action figures is so important. Yeah, and this scale works. Colossus is big. Spider-Man's kind of small. With that said, I could not be happier to have this one. And here's why. Because the aftermarket prices for the PS4 Marvel Legends Spider-Man, which isn't that great, is just bonkers. I'm not going to pay those aftermarket prices. I was happy to pay the Marvel Select retail and get a version of Spider-Man that I really liked. The video game's awesome. My game of the year, 100% when it came out. 2018? Man, feels like forever. But yeah, this action figure, so good. Paint-wise, the white came out pretty clean. There's like little splotches on it, but it's enough so if you look at it from a distance, you're hardly going to notice it. And they matched up the lines with the black really well. They got a little off on some sections, like the inside of the arm is off just a little. You can see they missed it right there with that black, but overall, they really matched up the web lines with the black and the mold pretty well. I'm definitely not going to deduct points because most of the time, Marvel Legends, they don't panel line their Spider-Man. So it just looks like junk. Like the Far From Home black suit and red Spider-Man, they just don't do it. And it looks awful. Looks really bad. The blue, I feel like it could be a lighter shade, but the Marvel Legends version was too dark of a blue. And this one's just right. Ooh, look at the back. I love that. So if you lean them forward, it still lines up and extends down. And it still works even if you lean them back. Really like that. And it came out so clean. They did a really nice job. I know I keep saying that, but yeah, the paint on this is really great. The sculpt is really nice too. I feel like it's very even-handed. They even added like little stitch lines along the legs, the calves, around the back of the thigh, back of the elbows. Good stuff. Man, I like this figure a lot. Now, let's say you want to pose him. Well, this is where the issues come in. Because and this goes for a lot of Marvel Select stuff, they are statuesque action figures. And that's not a bad thing if you're not into posing. But I am. I like posing on my shelf figures up there and, you know, making them look a little bit more dynamic. But this one, he doesn't have butterfly shoulders. And it really sucks that his arm can only go up that high. Putting on the gas without breaking the arm, it's tough. He does have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which maybe want to work, but man, that's a tough elbow. He does have a hinge on his hands, and we'll talk about those other hands in a sec with the accessories, but they're very loose. I don't much care for that, unfortunately. And then a big issue, which a YouTuber called Unparalleled Universe is going to assist me with, aka I'm going to watch his video at a later time, is the articulation around the neck, the ab, the lower torso, and the ankles. None of these have any range, so you can look left, you can look right, you know, make him look confused. Head goes all the way around, but then if you try to make him look up, nothing doing there, because there's nothing there. That's as far as he can go forward. There's no ab crunch, which, you know, makes the figure look really nice, but you can't have him hunch over very much. I mean, what kind of, look, it's like he's like looking for his keys, but he's half-heartedly doing it because he's on the way to the dentist, and he's like, maybe I can just leave the keys, you know? The one down there, you don't get much range out of. I would like it if he could just lean over even more so. Really disappointing with that articulation, but it's what I expected when I bought it. So this isn't like a huge surprise. That's just how Marvel Select goes. Legs kick out 90 degrees, not bad. There is a thigh swivel. They kick out this far. They do not kick back because of the butt. Double jointed knees. He's very squeaky. Ankle rocker and ankle pivot. Ooh, look at that. They even painted the bottom of the feet. When they even, they sculpted it too. Wow. Good stuff. But yeah, I'd really like it if his foot could go up even more. Give him a little bit more posability there. This is a great figure. The only thing holding it back, of course, is the articulation, unfortunately. But yeah, like the paint looks good. It's going to catch some eyes. You're going to really enjoy getting this thing. Let's take a look at those accessories real quick, and then I'll come back for a final score. Guys, he does come with a lot of stuff. First off, he comes with the hands. Amazing. Great. Look at that. They even added the little black lines on it, and they're panel lined. Wow. And they've got the white dots on their knuckles. Really good stuff. And that goes for each and every hand. They got little grip hands. And can the grip hand hold the cell phone? Let's see. It's a big deal if it can. I'd be really jazzed about it. I'd consider that a yes. That's decent. The cell phone is very cool, actually. Most of the time with Marvel Legends, you get kind of just a slick black piece of plastic. And this one's actually marked with dots and lines, and it looks like it's on and usable. I like that. I like that. That's a good thing. One of the main event items, though, Look at the spider bot. Now this was something in the game I thought was really cool. Basically crawl around and disarm, you know, bombs laid around the place. And yeah, this thing chrome, red all over it, metallic silver, panel lined with black. The eyes got little red dots on them, little mouth. Man, that is that's an eye-catching accessory right there. One of the best I've seen all year. Really, really like that. And then you got this big web thing, which I'm sure if you had Spider-Man or any other villain laying down, yep, look at that, fits right over him. So if you got another character and you want to pose him up, you can pin him down with some web. Really cool. It doesn't attach to anything, so you can't be like, I don't want to break it, but you get the idea. It's not going to look very good coming out of a hand or anything, but you know, if you're beating up some bad guys and you just want to pin them down and wait for the police, this is going to get that job done. So, what are my final thoughts on PS4 Marvel Select Spider-Man? Well, great articulation, not there. Great paint though. He's going to definitely run you probably about $30 as long as you can find him, you know, on Amazon or at retail, which isn't a bad price, especially for the accessories you get. You get a lot more for your buck compared to the Marvel Legends version. It's more accurate as well, which I love. Unfortunately, it isn't that 7-inch scale, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, you could have them like crouched down and, I don't know, put them in the back, do some forced perspective a little bit on them. But, yeah, I really like it. Definitely worth getting if you have a Spider-Man collection like me. This is a very acceptable substitute in case you missed it the first time around. So for this, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I dig it. This thing is awesome. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Hit like, share, subscribe. I don't know, do all that YouTube stuff every other YouTuber says. I don't know. Leave a comment down below if you've ever played PS4 Spider-Man. Are you ready for the PS5 Miles Morales story? I am, because I am... First off, I love Spider-Man. I'm excited for a new console. And I love Miles. And I love video games. I'm excited. I could list off 1,000 reasons why I'm excited. I'm very excited for it. And I'm excited to pose this dude up, do some modifications as well. And maybe next time you'll join me on that one. So with that, hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, both at The Toy Temple. And remember, you're never too old to enjoy the things you love.